May Pea Ridge School Board meeting to order. We'll start with the pledge and then we'll have a moment of silence. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we'll now have a moment of silence. Amen. Mr. Martin?
All right, welcome to the May board meeting. We always start out with the consent agenda. Are there any questions? All right, with that, I'd like to make the recommendation that the consent agenda, financial report, and board minutes of the regular board meeting held on April 11, 2022, and a special hearing held on April 15, 2022 be approved as submitted.
All right, we have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Next, we have some recognitions, and we have our boys and girls track teams here, and I would like to turn it over to Coach Travis. Oh, there he is.
Thank you, sir. Guys, we have our boys and girls track teams and coaches. We all come up to the center of the room in the middle, please. It was just last week, I think, Coach Wade and I were talking about 9 years ago, our track practices consisted of running around our school on the sidewalk. We didn't have a track. And in the last 9 years, our track programs have combined, I think now for 10 state championships in indoor and outdoor track and 2 state runner-ups. Tonight, we're fortunate enough to have 2 teams with us that we're part of. The girls were state indoor champions this year, finished third at the state track meet last week. And our boys were also state indoor champions in January and are now back-to-back outdoor champions. Won it last year, won it again this year. So I'm gonna turn it over to Coach Wade to talk a little bit about her team and then Coach Up.
All right, first of all, thank you all for having us tonight. It's an honor to be here. I'll go ahead and introduce my girls first. I have Madison Sims, Cameron Dye, Riley Raines, Allie King, Ava Pippin, Trinity Fox, and Riley Gilbert. Our coaching staff that we have with us tonight is Coach King. Sorry, I wasn't loud enough. Coach Gibby, Coach Hall, and the boys coach, Coach Upton. This year, our girls team took 15 girls to the indoor state meet, and we became a state champion in that. I believe it's the 4th year in a row without COVID taken away from it last year. This year, this girls won just about every meet in our division that we went to. They're very successful. We went to district, we took about 30 girls, and we finished first, and I believe it was 100 points was second place. So we had a really good season, scored a lot of points. We went to the state meet last week, as Coach Travis said. We took 15 girls, I believe, 14, 15 girls. We finished third, 5 points behind second. So it was a great meet for them. We're very proud of them. We appreciate all their hard work and everything they give to our community.
I'm Jason Upton. I'm the boys track coach here. Just like to recognize my team here. This is Isaac Cruz, Troy Ferguson, Caleb Neal, Patrick Elliott, Owen Reynolds, Sebastian Mulligan, and T.N. Grant. We had about 45 boys throughout the year. I feel like one of our biggest achievements, we were able to go to 2 or 3 meets with that many boys and have them all entered into an event. We won a couple of those meets. Took 18 boys that qualified for state. We ended up winning the state championship, scored 105 points to Magnolia's 64. And we are sending 7 boys to the Meet of Champions this Wednesday in Russellville, along with 2 girls.
Wow.
So it's been an awesome 2 years here. I'm blessed to work with a great bunch of guys.
For Annette for
the newspaper?
Why don't you-
Yes. Yeah, we go to the front and go to the back. Perfect. However you want to do it, I'm just the photographer. Everyone looks straight this way. Treat it just a little bit more, please. Elvis. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hold it. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
All right, up next, we're going to recognize 3 of our board members. We have, in, I guess, 2 weeks, we're going to have 3 board members come off. We have Mr. Neal, Ms. Wood, and Ms. Button. For Peter School District, I would just like to say thank you. Thank you for your time. I know Jenny, you're over 3 terms. Sandy, this is your 2nd time on the board at 2 terms. And Jeff, you've done more than 1 term with us. From the Pea Ridge School Districts and our community's heart, thank you. Thank you for serving us, being there for our kids, and honestly leading our district in probably one of the hardest times we've had due to this pandemic. So you're very much appreciated, and your work will go on for years to come. So thank you so much.
Thank you all.
All right, moving on.
All right. All right. Up next, we have every 3 years, we have to approve our district financial advisor. For years, we have used Beardsley with First Security, and we have Mr. Lovely. So, Mr. Lovely?
It's my pleasure to be here tonight, and thank you for the opportunity to present the renewal of the 3-year agreement. Keith and I were visiting before the meeting. I think I had been servicing the school district for 13 years, and Mr. Buster worked with, my boss worked with the district before that, and he's the one that started the black pen tradition, so you can thank him for that. And I think I may have had a little color in my hair actually when I started 13 years ago, but we've had a very great relationship with the district. The last 6 years, we have been able to take advantage of the interest rates that were available to us, and over those years have refunded several of your bond issues and saved a considerable amount of money for the district. So we have been fortunate to go through that. Probably in the last 6 to 7 months, interest rates have increased for our part probably about 100 basis points. So we're a full interest rate point higher than we have been. So it's going to be a little more difficult now. The refundings and everything are pretty much gone for a while, but hopefully we'll be back someday. This agreement that you're looking at tonight outlines all of the services that we provide to the district at no cost. And these are the things that we do for you 365 days a year, and ranges providing information to the district, to dealing with the county, State Department of Education. If you experience a rollback, which you have, our analyst, Michael Dobbs, always review those, make sure that the calculations are done correctly. We've worked with you through millage campaigns. It's everything that we do for you. A lot of times, the things in this agreement you as board members may not actually see this going on, but these folks do. We work directly with them. So this just outlines those services, and like I say, it is at no cost to the district. Part of this agreement, you will see in there a fee schedule, which locks us in, but July 1st will be 15 years for me with the company, and that fee schedule has not changed in 15 years, so it's kind of a non-factor, but nonetheless, it's in there and would be locked in for the next 36 months. Be happy to entertain any questions that you might have. In the absence of that, I think you have a suggested motion there as a part of your documents.
Right, are you ready, Dan?
Yes.
Okay. With that, I'd like to make a recommendation to employ First Security Beardsley as the district's financial advisor for a period of 3 years effective as of the date of adoption.
All right, we have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion.
Have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second. Any further discussion, comments? All in favor?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vivian. We will send you an
Yes, sir.
executed copy of this. Folks, thank you very much. I personally have relished this opportunity to work with the district, and our company truly appreciates the opportunity that we have been afforded, and certainly look forward to many years to come.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much.
And
Appreciate
good
it.
luck and enjoy retirement. I'll be in touch.
Yes, sir, thank you so much. Next, we have policy adoption for the 22-23 school year. You know, we did our first reading and second reading in March and April. Are there any questions over what we have?
Everything is following.
Yes, sir, Arkansas Code annotated and rules and regulations. Yes, sir.
Really don't have much choice, do we?
No.
Okay. All right.
All right, with that, I'd like to make the recommendation that we approve the policies for the 22-23 school year as presented.
We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed?
Next on the agenda is school choice. In May every year, we look at our school choice applications. The number of applications is very similar to last year. We had 88 applications this year. Last year we had 82. And again, the vast majority of them are in kindergarten, which is where we would like to take them so that they can stay their majority of the school year with us. Part of that Arkansas School Choice Act of 2015 is about capacity. We are not at 90% capacity in any of our buildings, so I would like to recommend, that's part of it is is bringing kids in from out of district who want to.
So it's at 90% capacity. It used to be where it's per classroom, but now it's gone to building
Yes, it goes
capacity.
either way.
Okay.
The only grade level that we were close in was fourth grade, and you already have on the recommendation to hire another fourth grade teacher because we were only one child away in fourth grade without taking school choice in. So the probability of, and I do not want to start a school year with 27.8 kids on average in each class when only room for one to grow. So we will be fine on teacher ratio and building capacity as well.
And on the school choice, do they have to do this every year?
No,
Or
ma'am.
once they're in, they're
Once you're
in?
in, you're in.
Okay.
Unless you break enrollment.
Okay. And you're good with the kindergarten amount?
Yes, ma'am, we have anticipated that.
Okay,
I think we currently have around 130 that are enrolled. Some of the kids that are on school choice are part of that number. We just haven't officially brought their number in off of the, not zip slip, but the online
right,
program that we use.
okay.
Yeah, last year we were around 20 or 21 school choice in kindergarten. All right, with that, I'd like to make a recommendation that we approve the school choice applications for the 22-23 school year as presented.
We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Up next, we have some additions we would like to present to our stipend schedule. So I will turn it over to Ms. Markville.
We have a few things that we brought to the PPC and about a week or so ago to get their approval and go over these changes. The first thing is on a salary schedule correction. To switch the columns of the headers for junior high and middle school assistant principals. Those are just typos that have been just incorrect for this school year. So you can see that on the assistant principal scale, that the junior high should really be where the middle school is printed and vice versa. So just to let you know, we need to adjust that. We'd like to add, as far as what we're really asking for today, is the stipend additions. We want to add an esports coach. The description is the head coach is responsible for overseeing all aspects of the program as well as the supervision of student athletes and the organization of assistant coaches if applicable. We don't have an assistant coach for this program yet. This is our second full year to have esports, and we feel that it's grown to where it warrants a stipend. They don't have a day in the school day. They don't have a period inside the school day in which to meet, so all of it's happening before after school, as well as all the meets and competitions are after school hours, in addition to their normal teaching duties.
What's the other coaches?
This is equivalent to an assistant coach stipend, so and that's pretty prominent for minor, what we
For
call minor
esports.
sports,
Right,
comparable to surrounding in our co-op.
okay.
Actually, we're a little better, to be honest, with that one. So, because we had such great interest. The next one is a non-athletic stipend adjustment. And it's, right now we have a stipend that's listed as AP test coordinator. What we'd like to do is change that to AP/building test coordinator. Coordinator of testing security materials and implementation to ensure quality and national and state assessment. AP coordinator will follow established guidelines of the College Board and DESE to ensure fidelity in testing. The building test coordinator will assist the principal in ensuring fidelity and testing for local, state, and national assessments. We'd like to add this, the AP coordinator we've had, there's extra rules and guidelines you have to follow as the AP coordinator, including submissions of testing accommodations that have to be filed every year, so it is a lot of work. But the building test coordinator is the piece we'd like to add for those buildings that don't have assistant principals, so that would be the intermediate and the middle school. Right now, we're having to use teachers, and a lot of the work, because of security, can't be done during the school day. And in the other buildings that have assistant principals serve as testing coordinator. It's part of their duties, and that's a very normal situation, is to have your assistant principals serve as testing coordinators for the building. Ms. Tabor is currently our district testing coordinator. They report to her, trained by her. But this addition would add for two spots, one at the middle, one at the intermediate, where they don't have assistant principals to assist with that testing duties that are going to be on school day. And the last one that we'd like to add are new. These are academic stipends that we have not had in our district before. These are in line with the PLC process and philosophy. And it's really giving teachers that internal leadership role there's a lot of teachers who don't necessarily aspire to be administrators, but want to have that leadership role. It's building that leadership from within. The descriptions are pretty lengthy. Let me read them to you, and then I'll take any questions. The top part is the ask and what would be listed on our salary schedule page. And the bottom two columns are qualities to which to use to for principals and for the district to help find those right people, the qualities that we need to be successful. So a building learning coordinator is a full-time teacher who works side by side with the principal, building leadership team, teacher collaborative grade level team or content teams, helps coordinate the work in the district leadership team meetings, and with that, the building leadership team. Enhance teacher and team capacity to improve student learning, focus on improving the effectiveness of each team, and provides detailed support when teams struggle. We are wanting to do, where this position would have a half-day substitute monthly to attend district leadership meetings, a $3,500 stipend, which is in the line to our formerly master teacher position that we had had in the district before, and an extended contract to allow for that collaborative piece to extend for professional learning and to support the buildings. The team leader position would be one per campus, so 5 of those positions. The team leader position is a full-time teacher who ensures the team members are clear about the focus of the PLC collaborative meetings, provides clarity of the data and student work required to be prepared for PLC meetings, communicate and collaborate with the school leadership team beyond the leader's grade, level, and subject area, monitors the school continuous improvement plan, and makes decisions for the school based on every team in the school. $1,200 stipend and a 195-day contract, which is 5 additional days for the same reasons. Professional learning that's required to be proficient in these roles and to lead professional learning for other teachers. We believe, we really talked about this, we talked about in the PPC, that to really take and increase our ask with the focus on teaching and learning, that these roles will just assist us in that process and really try to build the capacity of our teachers that aren't necessarily, like I said, making that jump to administration. They don't want to leave the classroom, but they want to grow themselves and they want to support their colleagues. So that's our ask. We would like to do 5 team leaders per building. That would be, you were talking about the high school representative of the 4 core and an elective. It's kind of the thinking for that. And at every building that doesn't operate like the junior high and high school, the K-6 will pick based on like so many per grade level, like 2/3, 2/4, whatever it equals. Everybody will have 5 slots. The team leader positions will be coordinated and works with the principal, will work with with us to help select those. And the building learning, but primarily through the principal's needs and what's needed for their PLC teams can be very different. So they'll lead that mutual selection process. And the building learning coordinator will be partnered with either Ms. Tabor or myself and the principal, helping them decide who would be the best fit. So you can see the qualities that are listed below. With the addition of these stipends, we worked with our attorney to get some language because we want these stipends to really, like I said, grow teacher leaders, grow from within, keep our rising stars engaged in the learning and help lead their colleagues. But we also want to ensure that stipends aren't something that you inherit if you're no longer doing that to the level of expectation that they aren't automatically assumed to be on your contract year to year. So the 2 next paragraphs on the bottom pages really apply to all contracts and extended days. Just some language that says that every year this is evaluated, and these aren't, all stipends aren't meant to be long-term solutions. If you're not doing a job anymore, you shouldn't be receiving that compensation or the additional days if that's it. So our attorney has looked at that language and said it was fine to put on all bottom of our schedule. So the PPC did meet first week of May and unanimously voted we're comfortable with these additions and changes. So we wanted to bring them to you tonight. And I just talked a lot, so many questions.
So when you presented this to the PPC,
Yes.
did you have a lot of interest in these positions?
They were very interested. First of all, we took these proposed options to our current instructional facilitators to get their feedback on that. And then we went to the principal group, we got their feedback, went to the PPC committee. They were very interested. They see the work of where we're going and the ask. As the ask gets higher, we need to support that. So that's our goal. I think they were pretty good excited about supporting people who are really interested in pursuing that who have an opportunity.
How do we think it's going to be perceived from teachers who have co-taught or been, amazed, a coworker,
Yeah.
to now having somebody who they've worked with hand in hand, now kind of, how do we foresee that going?
Oh, we already have building leadership teams and guiding coalitions and everything that, that are teachers that are part of the leadership teams within their buildings. Now we're gonna have the opportunity to give them some more days and pay them for the work that they're doing.
Okay.
It's really a model we have in place, maybe without the, more informally and formally, so just formalizing the process.
Okay,
If we're gonna ask more of you, we need to follow through.
Absolutely.
okay.
I don't think to answer your question, I don't think it'll be a big adjustment, honestly.
Okay.
And it's 5 per campus?
5 per campus of the team leader and 1 per campus of the building learning coordinator.
Okay.
And then did we talk about the process if somebody gets in and like you said, I know the stipend doesn't follow, but if they're not fulfilling the role or if there's some confusion with them signing on and it not being what they thought it would be, do we have a process to formally handle that so that way?
So that's the purpose of that second language, to evaluate that annually. The anticipation would be you're in that for a year because that's on your contract. But if there were extenuating circumstances, I think you handle it just like any, you probably want to start with some kind of agreed upon, since these people selected this role, I mean, it's not something that you have to do, the above and beyond, that you come through some kind of mutual growth plan per se, or let's work through what's the concerns first before we went straight to, I don't want that on my contract anymore. So I think we follow a similar role to test, but wouldn't be leading to dismissal because this is a portion of the contract.
Right, I just want to make sure that we left verbiage in there so it's not,
Same
you
kind
have
of
to do it
steps,
or.
same
Okay.
kind of steps,
Perfect.
these work together.
I guess it can be terminated on each end,
Okay.
everything, the stipend and the days and everything. And, we may have someone that wants to do it for 1 year and then they realize it's not what they want and everything. So that part of it can be pulled off and it won't affect the teaching contract.
And no retaliation, that was mine.
No.
If they get in and it's not what they expected, then being able to be like, okay, this isn't what I thought it would be, I want to be back in the classroom full time.
It's not if you resign from one, you resign from all.
Perfect.
You can back out of the stipend and.
No retaliation.
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay, perfect.
That's why I think it's, to have a stipend versus that's your role, is your only sole role defined, is the purpose of the stipend is to allow for that, exactly.
Okay.
And honestly, what's best practice would be that you afforded it to where you did rotate it every so often, so multiple teachers had the possibility to grow and learn and take that, internal leadership.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments?
With that, I'd like to make a recommendation that we approve the addition to the stipend schedule as presented.
Have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mindy. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Sandy, did you make that?
I did.
Okay, thank you. Up next on the agenda, our approval of out-of-state trips. I got with Coach Travis over summer trips that our athletic teams are taking, or band or anyone. And we have girls basketball and volleyball that are going to go to camps out of state. And I know they're not as far as you can go in Arkansas, but you are technically crossing the imaginary line. So in basketball, we've got June 2nd to Cassville, Missouri, June 8th through 10th to Pitt State, Pittsburgh, Kansas, June 9th to Cassville, Missouri, June 13th through 15th to Springfield, Missouri, June 16th to Cassville, Missouri, June 22 and 23 to Joplin, June 23 to Cassville, Missouri. And in volleyball, July 18th through 19th to Joplin, Missouri, and July 25 through 27 to Branson, Missouri. We have 3 of these trips that are overnight. We'll have the appropriate chaperones and all that good stuff, and all school rules to be followed and everything. This is a great opportunity for kids to grow, build their skill set, and grow as young adults. So, are there any questions? All right, with that, I'd like to make the recommendation that we approve the out-of-state trips as presented.
We have a recommendation. I will make the motion with all school rules followed. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Who's paying for these overnight stays?
Oh, it all comes out of the athletic budget, the team's budget. and
So they're,
everything.
okay, not
Yeah.
operating.
Oh, no, ma'am.
Okay. All right.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
All right, up next, we have our annual renewal of our SRO agreement for the 22-23 school year. Our MOU looks a little different. We had Act 551 passed, and it required us to use the standard MOU for our SROs. What it comes down to at the end is the job descriptions and the responsibilities are all the same. The one thing that we have is compared to last year we were $136,000, this year it's $141,533 due to their step increases and things like that. So that is, that it comes to a total of $141,533. That still leaves us, keeps us with 3 SROs. We pay 83% of the officer salary, the other 17%. The city takes care of that, covers them for summertime, basically, when they're not on campus. So they do a wonderful job for us, and they are vital to us, making sure that we have a safe environment. Are there any questions?
Benefits are provided by the city, correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's literally a purchase service. City takes care of benefits, insurance, everything, salaries.
Vehicles.
Ma'am?
Vehicles.
Yes, ma'am, everything. Yeah, we just write one check a month. We're good.
Okay.
And then, do we break it down how the SROs, which schools they're at? Do they, all 3 of them travel between all of the schools, or?
We have one SRO that does middle school and ALE.
Okay,
We have one SRO that does intermediate primary, kind of like a K4 SRO.
Okay.
And then we have a 712 SRO.
okay,
It rotates between the junior high and the high school. That way we're kind of keeping the age ranges
perfect, thank
together.
you.
We're good? All right. With that, I'd like to make the recommendation that we approve the school resource officer agreement for the 22-23 school year.
We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion. Do we have a second? I'll second. Motion is second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Yeah, they're quick on the draw tonight.
All right, up next, we have approval for cheer camp games, performance, and competition items. As our program has increased, the amounts of purchases above a micro purchase now, and so it requires board approval. Ms. Hurst and Coach Travis reached out to 3 different companies. Is this in y'all's packet?
Yeah, but
Skip about 4 or 5 pages.
we were doing, I thought, food
Just out of order.
services.
Oh, am I out of order?
No, their packet's out of order. Just skip to,
Okay.
Oh,
skip 1.
It's behind Lexia,
Behind the Lexington Club.
yep,
But I just,
and then the school specialty curriculum.
Yep.
oh.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, there's some moving forward about being out of order, and I don't know if that's fixing it. We're above a micro purchase now. This is for grades 7 through 12. It's everything they use, from backpacks to travel gear to purchase of extra uniforms and everything. The bid comes out to $41,291.64. That does not come out of operating, that comes out of the activity budget where they raise the money and everything. And so, that seems like a lot, but honestly, it's within that range every year.
how many grades does this cover?
7 to 12.
And are they all getting the same stuff? Or is it broken down by squad? It's broken down by squad?
Yeah, high school is different than 7th grade, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Ms.
But it's all,
Caldwell,
we're ordering it all as one lump sum?
some of the stuff is optional, like, they may choose to get 2 backpacks, and they may choose to get, so some of it is optional, the kids could get this hoodie. you know, that kind of stuff. Some of it is, this is what we want to get if you're gonna be on the team, and some of it's optional. I think most of them go ahead and get this stuff, but, so it's not every kid might not get the exact same thing, but it's because they maybe chose not to get something.
But this
When you
41,000 is,
clarify, when you say optional, that's at their expense.
that's what I was getting ready to
Yeah, but it
ask.
it still gets fundraised for, all their fundraising opportunities, they can still get those optional things, with that fundraising money too.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, is there more than just this one page? Because there's no items, it's just the amount. Am I missing?
No,
Yeah,
you don't
it's
have
on here.
to say that.
I think it's on this.
Yeah.
So, when the companies, they all merged with each other, those cheer dance organizations, they merged with their camp companies to form the varsity brands. So where you used to be able to order things separate, like your shoes from this vendor and your skirts and tops from this one and camp clothes from this one, they merged to one brand.
Right.
So,
But I'm okay with that, but $41,291.64. There's nothing listed on here.
Oh, you want a spec list?
I mean,
Okay.
am I,
No, usually we have it broken down as to what we're agreeing for purchasing, whether it's pants, skirts,
Sure.
shells,
I
whatever.
mean, if you can tell us what that is, I mean, I don't want to table this, but if you can tell us what that is, and it,
when they went to try, I could go from memory what the tryout, so at the parent tryout meeting, it would be,
Bows,
it'd be
skirts.
from top to bottom, so shoes, socks, bloomers, your practice gear, which is probably 3 pairs of shorts and 3 tank tops per girl, probably were to guess. This is what's listed at tryouts, pom-poms, bags, any replacement uniforms, so if your team grows or different size athletes are on the team, we're gonna order top and skirt adjustments depending on the sizing range, so probably, and all those replacements. But we can probably get the breakdown.
Yeah. How about, what? Right. How about we hold off and do this at the end and let Coach Travis go get a little bit more information?
thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And y'all are wanting,
I think the end's great.
okay,
No, no, we can go to the end.
Okay.
That's fine.
Next, we have our student services report. Mr. Ray.
Okay, I'm going to start with maintenance. And at this point, we have pretty much completed our weight room project, both the indoor facility and the volleyball, the junior high weight room area. We did have one piece came in, we installed all of it, and then just as we were wrapping up, the installers got an email that said one piece had been recalled. There's a little plastic piece on top of it, so they loaded those up last week, and we expect them to be here towards the end of this week. But all of the weight equipment is in, it's all functional. We can use it, it's a little safety piece that we have. I think the feedback that we have received is that our coaches and athletes are really enjoying what we've done, and they're very appreciative of the changes. And we probably should have brought some pictures or taken a tour, but it's really phenomenal the way it turned out in both places. And so we've got a little cleanup there to do, but that project is somewhat done.
Did we get all the air conditioner stuff at the junior high taken care of? Is it all done?
I mean, we're still
Okay.
waiting on parts and stuff to come in to finish.
Okay. Are we expecting that to be done by summer?
They're hoping to get the parts in June,
Okay,
and hopefully it will be done by the time school starts.
perfect. Okay.
that's what we were wanting to do was over the summer.
Over the summer.
Same thing.
Just because of the safety.
Yeah, they're going to start your roof project.
26.
Yeah.
The day, I know the day we got out, but I didn't know if we were still waiting on parts for the air conditioner to be able to do that too, or if we were good to go.
I think we had 41 total units at the junior high. I think we're down to 16
Okay.
to finish there, and I think 9 at the intermediate building.
Okay.
And it's just parts trickling into the warehouse.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
Other than that, with maintenance, we are, every year we do those kind of inspections, boiler inspections, gas pressure testing. Now at the high school, we test our elevators twice a year, and so we're just setting up all those kind of year-end tests that we have to have done by June 30th. And so That stuff is going on, our fire suppression systems, plumbing, just all of those things. So we're getting all that scheduled and organized so that we've got all that to the state. We did have, the state walks through our facilities twice a year. And so they came in the fall, and then they came about 2 weeks ago. We walked all of our campuses. They made special note to talk to the middle school cafeteria. The ladies were eating their lunch prior to serving lunch, and we had just got done walking through the cafeteria, and they just noted how phenomenal the cleanliness of the cafeteria and how spotless it worked, and they stopped and made a special point to talk to those ladies there. But we don't anticipate anything there in our report as far as being out of compliance facilities-wise with the state facilities division or anything there. We've made some changes kind of along the years as we gain feedback, and we're really good with compliance right there. In food service, we have an April ending balance of $482,000, or $836.55. So we're really healthy in our balance in food service. With that, Miss Julie is currently getting and working on some quotes. That we've got some ovens that we're going to need to replace. We've got some additional equipment that we believe will help make each kitchen more efficient, allow for better safety for our staff, and allow us to improve our products. And so she's working on putting together a list and then getting required quotes and needed things there that we will most likely present to the board in June. And so that's something that is coming up. But she's done such a good job there with the extra money from COVID, the pandemic, and all that. We've got a good balance. And then the one thing that we've been talking about kind of month after month, and we finally got our update after the board meeting in April, and we weren't just overly thrilled about it, but we got it, was summer feeding. And we had kind of been prepping that we could do summer feeding through June 30. And USDA, the Child Nutrition, came back and said, your free meals end when the school year ends. And so they shortened it to May 25th. And so that creates a little bit of a challenge for us. It's not what we had predicted. It's not what we anticipated happening, but we've applied for 8 waivers with USDA and Child Nutrition. 7 of those waivers expired June 30th, and the 8th, the one that we needed to run Seamless Summer for that month of June, expires on May 25th. They came back and told us, so they shortened our time frame. Two requirements for Seamless Summer that you have to meet is you have to have 50% of your student body that would qualify for free and reduced lunch, which we do not. We're well below the 50% mark. And then they have, using census data, they have what's called area eligibility. You have to have 50% in your area to qualify for free and reduced lunch, and we are well below that as well. So the Seamless Summer option that we've been using over the past several years, we don't qualify. And we knew at some point this day was coming, but it's a lot sooner than we wanted it to. And so with that, Mr. Martin, do you want to talk about what we'd like to do?
With that, we met with the Boys and Girls Club. They're one of our biggest customers for the summer program, summer feeding program. And what we would like to propose is the Boys and Girls Club is going to pay or reimburse food service for their meals through they have a grant, I believe the Campbell Soup or PepsiCo. And what we would like to do is to cover the remaining costs out of operating to make sure we feed our kids through the summer. We can afford it. It'll be around $25,000, give or take a little bit. But we can also, during that time, if a child is on free and reduced lunch, we can send that in for reimbursement. If you're on reduced, we can send that in for that as well. And the district will cover the cost of the out of operating to run the summer program from, I believe, June 6th through the week of the 4th of July, off the week of the 4th of July, and then the week after that through, I believe, June 29th, or July 29th, sorry about that. So in that way, it feeds during the Boys and Girls Club sessions, and it allows our families to come get free meals if they need.
Is it about 180?
Ma'am?
Are we feeding about 180?
A day, it averaged between, that 125 to 175 a day, give or take a little bit.
That is a good service that we have, and I don't want it to quit.
And it's unfortunate that we do not qualify for the single summer option, but I think we're in a position where we can continue to provide that service this year for our families.
I appreciate it.
Are there any questions? I mean, we don't need board. I just want to inform y'all that we'll be doing that. Julie will stretch the dollar as far as we can to make sure that the cost of the district is as low as possible, but I think it's something that we need to do for our students and for our families.
I appreciate you guys doing that.
It says that we need a motion for the summer food program service. Do you not think we do?
Oh, yes, ma'am, I'll do a motion.
Okay, let's do it.
I'd like to make the motion that we pay for our seamless summer option out of general operating to cover the cost of meals for our families through the summer of 22.
We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
I'd like to make that motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Up next, we have Ms. Tabor in curriculum and instruction.
In February, we presented to you some changes to our course offerings, 7 through 12, in regards to honors and retitling that to advanced and taking away the pre-AP title. And I'll let you know that we would start our work of vetting the pre-AP resources that were going to be offered to us through the state. So since February, we've done a few things to vet those resources. There's a state-sponsored pre-AP program that we have the ability to participate with. And just some brief information about that, just to help you and our parents understand what that means. The pre-AP resources, it's a framework, so it's not a curriculum, it's not a daily lesson plan, but it's a structure that it encourages teachers to use. And the idea is that it allows all students to engage in rigorous learning so that we're growing our students every day. It provides supports for students at all levels to make sure we do that. They've been reviewed by the Arkansas Department of Education, Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. And they do a lot of work to assist teachers in using them, which is really nice. It's not just a book that they're given and that's all that they ever receive. There's some online resources, some calibration resources where they can look at an assignment that was given with a certain standard that was applied to it, and they are kind of coached through how you might give students feedback on that assessment or that assignment. So we're helping our teachers to align that level of rigor and those standards. We also have, as part of our state-sponsored program, training for teachers and leaders to use these resources and the strategies that are embedded in them, and formative assessments that allow us to kind of calibrate our work. If we think we're getting our students to a certain level of mastery of the standard, let's test that against something that's nationally normed and that students across the country are using with different feedback. So we spent some time with our teachers and our campus leadership and got some feedback. We visited 2 other other districts who have piloted these resources to get some feedback from teachers who use them. The teachers that we spoke with within our district and also outside for that outside feedback believe that those courses that are listed there, English 9, English 10, Algebra 1, Biology, and Chemistry, were aligned to standards for Arkansas and at the level of rigor that we would like to achieve with our students. The formative assessment with data disaggregation, they really like to help with instructional planning, and it's immediate, so those assessments, when a student takes them, that data goes straight to the teacher by question and broken down by how they responded so they can help those teachers plan. The framework is very flexible, so it allows them to meet students' needs and layer with our other instructional resources. So our goal is to use this as one other tool in the toolbox rather than the thing that we're doing. So it works nicely with our illustrative math. It layers on what our teachers are doing in K-8 with Wisdom. It allows them to be part of an expanded network of teachers for collaboration. There's other districts in our area who are utilizing, but also they'll have access to a nationwide collaborative for these courses to do some online networking. And then the shared principles that are cross-curricular, which is really nice, especially at the secondary level. You don't often see teachers across subjects collaborating and finding common ground. But all four of these things are built into each of those courses, so English, math, and science. That practice of close observation and analysis, so digging into resources, digging into sources, and trying to figure out how to interpret them and use the data. Higher order questioning, evidence-based writing, and academic conversations. And so this will allow our teachers, whether they're teaching that Algebra 1 course or that English 9 course, to collaborate and really make sure that our students see how it's not just when I learn Algebra 1 when I'm sitting in that class, but those skills transfer over to my other courses. So our teachers in those courses, and those are sponsored by the state, have asked that we sign on to participate with College Board and Arkansas to gain access to those resources, so we wanted to update you on that. They will still maintain those titles, and our pre-AP, what was a pre-AP course will be called the advanced course, and our teachers will have access to these resources to differentiate, but we will use this for all of our students.
So it's going from pre-AP to advanced.
The advanced course that our students are taking will be called advanced instead of pre-AP, yes. And then some resources that we're using in all courses are now titled pre-AP. So College Board has trademarked the term.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure I understand.
Yeah, it's going to be used in a different way than what we're used to.
Okay.
Yeah. The other two updates I have for you guys are actually approval purchases. The first one is Lexia Core 5 and Power Up. It's really a very similar product, both from Lexia, but Core 5 covers grades K through 5, Power Up is for grades 6 through 8. We have used this in our district for 2 years now. We were actually able to fund it with a grant from the state for the first 2 years in grades kindergarten through 4th grade, and that grant has expired. We've applied again. We haven't heard yet if we're going to receive it. But we added it to our middle school and junior high this year because we had really good success with it that first year in the primary and intermediate. So now that we are adding on, we'll have 4 campuses, and we no longer potentially have those grant funds. It is now a purchase that has to be approved. But we use this in Tier 1 instruction, provides that literacy, the foundational skills, the comprehension skills for our students. It's adaptive, which is really important for our teachers. It's really difficult to hit 30 students where each one of them is every single day in their literacy development, and this kind of allows them to do that, but also monitor their progress. So it's not just something you put them on the monitor or on the computer and move on. The teacher has access to see how the student's progressing. So we use it at Tier 1, but we also use it for Tier 2 when our students are struggling. They need a little more practice, a little more intervention. It provides that to them in real time, which is also really difficult to do when you've got 30 students who need that in real time in different ways. So this kind of allows the teacher to monitor that progress, but make sure that every kid gets what they need. It has the offline resources that we can use. Our students in virtual and our on-site students both have access to this. So you have the quote in your packet. It is $11,900 per building, so our total is $47,600 per school year. Like I said, this will be our first year that we had to purchase it with our own funds, but we are asking to continue that use for another year.
Let's talk about option 1 and 2.
Yes.
Before we
They provided multi-year options. So our plan for that, we know we can save some money, but we are then locked in for a number of years. And so our plan, this is our second year, our plan is to go 1 more year, especially in our buildings where we only used it for a year, to really dig in and make sure that it's going to be something latched onto early on, but we can use it long-term. And then look at those multi-year options after this next year.
So you're just wanting 1 year then?
Yes.
You're not wanting to do the multi-year one?
And
Okay.
this will be paid for out of,
Yeah, our state categorical funds, ESSA funds, will fund the middle school and the junior high. I'm hoping to use Title I funds for our primary. Unless we get the grant, and then we'll adjust that.
That'd be great. Sounds good.
And we have the data to back up that it's working.
We're seeing some really good growth in the primary, especially in the second year, and our intermediate this year has started to see the connection between our growth and math.
Okay.
And connected to Lexia. So we're trying one more year before we dig in.
Okay.
For this one.
That's
Do we
good.
need to Spire?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The second purchase that we're gonna ask you to consider, we have spent some time wrapping our heads around how to serve our students who need an additional layer of intervention when it comes to reading. And that, in education terms, is that tier 3, so that group that, after that initial classroom instruction, they still need more support. Those small group activities is helping, but they're not quite there, but they've got multiple years of learning to make up for. And so we spent some time, and actually our student services team, Ms. Cook, did some site visits in other districts. They took some of our current staff and providing us intervention to those locations to watch Spire being utilized in the classroom, and spent some time vetting it, and found that it was really, for those that have been using it, very beneficial. It was showing some potential for their students. This is going to serve our students in special education. It's going to serve our students who have characteristics of dyslexia. And it also, just like Lexia, meets the state guidelines for literacy interventions, which means that it's been vetted by the state as well, which is really helpful. But this purchase, for the first year, will be a little more because we're purchasing some resources that aren't consumable that will be used in the classroom. So you have 2 quotes there, but all of it together is $28,836. And they're separated because we're looking at different funding sources on those. But the idea is that most of that cost is a one-time cost for the materials, the curriculum. And then from year to year, we'll have to purchase the consumable student materials. So the first year will be a little more than those years after.
Sure.
This is the first time we'll be, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
This is the first time that this will go K-12 and serving our students in a program, especially for our dyslexia students and our students in resource, to receive resource minutes in English language arts. We've had to piecemeal, we do this, we've always just approved, but now we're gonna have a K-12 system for literacy. So we're really excited about that.
That sounds
They
great.
did a lot of research. Sorry.
No, so why is it broken into 2 quotes?
We broke it into 2. They asked for the resources that would be needed for our special education program separately from our tier 3 students who are served under that program. Again, making sure we have the funding sources.
Perfect. Okay.
But we're looking right now to use our categorical funds for curriculum instruction there as well.
Okay.
yeah, and when we're over $21,600, we're above a micro purchase. And so that requires board approval. Even if you take the 2 separate, at the end of the day, you still need to combine. because
Absolutely.
The district is making one purchase.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Any further
Thank you
discussion?
so much for your research and efforts.
Oh, the team did a really good job on looking into that. They spent a lot of time.
Thank you all very much. Mr. Martin?
All right. I'd like to make the recommendation that we approve Lexia Core 5 Power Up with a purchase price of $47,600.
Have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
A motion. Do we have a second? I'll second. Any further discussion and comments?
And that's coming from ESSER funds, right?
ESSA funds.
ESSA, sorry, that's what I meant.
ESSA.
Thank you. ESSA. Okay.
The acronym is ESSA.
All in favor?
And next, I'd like to make the recommendation that we approve the Spire Reading Program from school, especially with a purchase price of $28,836.26.
Have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
A motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Do we want to go back and visit?
Oh, we're not ready yet, sorry.
Not.
I know, I'm on and that one will be posted after executive
We doing this first?
Next on the agenda is the bonus for the 21-22 school year for district employees. We're fortunate enough to be in a financial position where we can make a recommendation to you for bonuses for for this year for our employees. What Ms. Brunel has worked on is $1,000 per employee that's classified and licensed. You know, last year, we gave everyone a $750 bonus, classified and licensed. The one thing is, this just excludes substitutes. They're not a day-to-day employee, or our student workers who work a couple hours a day for us afterwards. The total cost will be about $350,000, and that includes benefits and all of our matching taxes and everything. Our staff, teachers and staff, they've worked extremely hard this year. I can honestly say that this year's been probably harder on the classroom teacher than it was the 2021 school year. We've had more student absences, we've had more staff absences, and a lot of those absences, they did not ask for absences, they were told by us that you had to stay home. It creates learning difficulties in the classroom and stress on everyone. So I'm excited to be able to recommend this and to, as a sign of appreciation and gratitude
Absolutely.
for what our faculty and staff have done this year, because they've done an outstanding job.
Go ahead, Mr. Ron. Was that a recommendation?
Oh, I guess I'd like to make the recommendation, we approve the bonuses for the 21-22 school year for district employees as presented.
All right, we have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion. We'll all make the motion. We're happy that they do so well.
Yeah, we're all in on that.
All right. So we have a motion and second.
Sure. We'll all second it.
All right, all in favor?
We're all in favor.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna miss me.
Thank you so much.
All right, it is now 7:02. We will go into closed session for resignations, hiring, transfers, and new positions.